How's it going, everyone? This is Fine Gaming Connoisseur and welcome back to this Let's Play of Mortal Online. And today this is episode 20, and so today I wanted to make an episode to show you guys how magic works in this game. Now the reason why I decided to do this is because I recently picked up some magic skills. Like I mentioned in my previous episode, I said that I've got some extra attribute points to distribute in my intelligence and psyche. So, and I felt that that a little bit of magic would be helpful for my character. So, so today I'm just going to show you, for those of you who have played this game and have wondered how magic works in this game. Yeah, magic is a little bit, a little bit of a mystery for some players, at least for myself when I try to pick it up. I'm not sure if the new player tutorial actually explains how you can go about casting spells, but I never really went through that, well, at least not the new revamped tutorial, because I play this character for quite some time already. So, but for those of you who have been wondering how to pick up magic, so I'm just going to show you because it's a bit of a mystery, like I said. So the easiest way is if you're in Tindrum City, then you come to this area and you'll find that there is a Tindremic librarian. So you press R to interact, or whatever button that you bound the function to, and then it'll come up with a list of books. So the first book that you'll need is Magic Schools. So you type that into the search bar, and then you click Set Filter, and then it will come up with the Magic Skills book. And so this costs 10 silvers. So this is the first book that you'll need to learn on your path to learning how magic works. So you buy that book, and once you've got it, start reading it. Read it until it gets to until it gets to 20, and then you can keep reading it if you want, but you don't have to, because when you get to 20, then you can go on to getting the next book, which is Ecumenical Spells. So you type that in, and then you search for it, and then this is the second book that you'll need, so Ecumenical Spells. So you buy that book, and it's 10 silvers as well. So don't worry if you haven't read the Magic Schools book all the way to 100, because you really just need to have it at 20. Read it until it's at 20, and then you can start reading the Ecumenical Spells. So once you've got these two books, once you've got Magic Schools at 20, and then you've got Ecumenical Spells, happening when you've got it reading, like I have. Yeah, I'm still reading that book, and it'll take another day and 9 hours and 57 minutes. So once you've got that, you can access the spell book. So this is the icon here. You can press O as well. Now, for those of you who have played this game, in its early days, the game gave players access to the spell book immediately upon the creation of your character, but now they've made it so that you need at least the Magic Schools book, having that skill in your character. So there's all these spells, and there's a little flip the page thing, animation, and you can either click it and it'll turn to the next page, or and I think this is pretty cool about this game, is that you can actually flip the pages using your mouse. So you can actually drag the pages back and forth. That's pretty cool, I think. So as you can see on my top hotbar, I have some spells on my character, and yeah, so these are the spells that I've equipped on my hotbar, and these are not all the spells. Basically, there are some spells that you can get the reagents from within the city itself, either from the vendor or from from the environment, and I'll get to that a little while later. But yeah, basically you've got all these spells, and so the ones that are not on my hotbar are the ones that where the reagents are not readily accessible. So like for example, Cuprum, there may be a vendor in the city somewhere that sells this, but I'm not aware of that. At least I'm not aware right now of. But yeah, there's all these spells, and there's there's a spell called Spurt, and it basically shoots out a projectile of concentrated water, and it's one of the easiest. It's probably the easiest spell in this game that you can cast, because really all you need is water, and water is easily accessible, easily obtainable, and so there's all these spells. So oh yeah, there's also Resurrect and Transcendental Awareness, which basically you can communicate with the dead, but that requires Jadeite, which I'm not aware of any vendor in the city that sells that, and being as a player, I don't have time to create like a miner and an extractor to to get that reagent. Okay, there's someone talking to me. Okay, he's run off. Anyway, so where was I? So I was explaining the spells. So okay, so yeah, these are all the spells in the game currently, I think. There may be others, but I'm not too sure. So so once you've dragged all the spells that you want, now I will get rid of this because I don't have enough mana to cast that spell. Flame Strike. Yeah, I don't have enough mana to charge that spell, so I can't use that. But all the other spells, I have, try to click on it, and I can cast them. It's just that I just need the reagents for that. Okay, so I'll show you where you can get the reagents in the city, and so basically all the spells that I have on my hotbar right now are the ones that I can get the reagents readily, either from the vendor right here, reagent vendor, or from the city fountain that gives you water. There's purified water, there's bore, and there's all these others. But like I said, I can't find sulfur or jadeite from this list. So obviously, I think it's not sold on this vendor. But I'm not aware of any other vendors that sell, sulfur and jadeite. But there may be a vendor somewhere, but I'm not aware of that at this point in time. So you get the reagents. So now I'm gonna show you how magic works. I'm gonna go to the graveyard and I'll test it on the undead. So, and I'll just point out one thing. Now I did mention in my previous episode that I will so I'll knock that down. I've used up all my attribute points. I've got Psyche and Intelligence both at 45. So just let me see whether Flame Strike. So just let me unequip my weapon. And that's another thing with this game, is that you cannot cast spells with any weapons equipped. So basically, you know, even if you don't draw your weapons, as long if you equip any weapons, then you cannot cast spells. So just be aware of that. So just gonna see whether I have enough mana. Oh, okay. Okay, so I can cast Flame Strike. Alright, so I'll put it back. I'll put the icon back because before my Psyche reached 45, I try to cast that spell, but it says that I don't have enough mana to do that. But now I can. So it's all good. So I'll put that back, and so I just mentioned that in my previous episode I said I was going to show the area beyond the slums, and the main reason for that is that there is a magic tutor there that I went to, and I learnt 2 skills from that tutor, but it didn't really help because really the tutor there only gave me mental training and the magic schools skill, and that's not enough. It's basically the starting point for you to basically just the starting point for you to start casting spells, but it doesn't really it does not enable you to cast any spells, because if you don't have ecumenical spells, then you cannot cast spells. Even if you have it equipped and you've got the reagents, it won't work. So rather than going there and you know showing you guys in an episode, I decided I'll just show you guys the quickest way and to cast spells, and that is going to, like I mentioned earlier, going to the Tindremic Librarian, and then just going to the reagent vendor over to that side there. So yeah, there is some skills related to magic, but all you need is the magic schools, which is a secondary skill, and also ecumenical spells. So you just need these 2 skills to cast magic spells. So make sure you have these 2, because if you just have magic schools, then your spells will it'll just play the animation, but it won't actually cast any spells that affect anything. And this player here looks pretty good, the armor, but I think that's, there's so yeah. So I think someone got killed in here. Now the guards are blocking the entrance, and I'm not able to get into the bank area. And so let's see if we can jump our way through. Nope, can't. Yeah, this is a bit of a worry. You know, I really don't like it when you've got these guards that stand in front of the bank entrance. So there's a guy that's basically stuck inside the bank, and he's not able to get out. yeah, this player here, he or she is not able to get in either. Alright, we won't bother with going to the bank, because I do have some reagents in my bank that I wanted to retrieve, and so I can show you guys how to cast spells against targets. And but like I mentioned, there's a spell that's the easiest to cast in this game, and that is of course Spurt, and all you need really is just water from the fountain here. So I've bound some of the abilities and items that I frequently use into the side hotbars, and you can toggle these on and off if you press escape and you go to preferences, and you can enable the side hotbars, and there's 3 of them that you can. There's a bottom hotbar as well, but I don't really need a bottom hotbar, so now all you have to do is gather water, and you really only need to do this once, because every time you gather water you get quite a bit. Like you see, I got 133 water here, so that's enough for me to cast Spurt. Spurt only uses up one unit of water. So let's go to the graveyard, and we'll test it out on the undead. But let's just make sure that there's no reds or greys. Vivek. I remember him from my previous episode. I don't know what they're doing here. But anyway, hopefully it's not because there's more murderers or criminals in the area. But I did mention in my earlier episodes, I think it was episode 1, that I said that every time you come to the graveyard, it'd be a good idea to first of all just check who is in the area, because you never know, you might walk into the graveyard at a time when there's a murderer or a grey or a criminal in the area. So okay, so the first thing you need to do is I think this guy's going to take down that undead. So the first thing you need to do is you need to aim your spell at the target. So you make sure you've got the target in your crosshairs, and then you press the button corresponding to the spell that you've got equipped on your hotbar. So there you go. And so it's not very effective, it only does like 1 damage, which is pretty low. So I'll just kill this Okay, so there you go. You've just seen how magic works in this game, and so I'll just equip my sword and my mace in that order. Yeah, that's how I like it, because if you equip your mace first, then then the mace goes in your right hand, and then whichever weapon you put afterwards will go in your left. But I like my sword in my right hand and my mace in my left. So there you go. So you've just seen how you can cast spells relatively easily in this game, but the game, I think the game at the moment doesn't really explain things very clearly from my perspective, from my point of view. In my opinion, I think it is a bit of a, something that is left for the players to discover. And even the magic tutor, I went to the magic tutor, and the magic tutor just rambled on about how if you focus carefully, then you can learn about how the mystery of the magic, how magic works in this game, and blah blah blah. And it doesn't really teach you anything about how to cast spells or where to go to learn how magic spells work. And I think that's why you find players in the help chat that are asking around how to use magic in this game. So I think that's a bit of a I think that's something that might be something that the game developers can put a bit more emphasis on. Maybe teach players how to go about learning magic spells instead of leaving it wide open for the players to discover. I mean, personally, I don't mind that. I enjoy discovering things for myself and learning how to do things without the game teaching me. But these days, people tend to get put off if the game doesn't teach them how to do things every step of the way. So that may be something that SV can look into, because so I think there are players who would prefer to be taught step by step rather than learning how things work by themselves. So that's just my opinion. And I will also show you one other important thing, and that is if you want to cast spells in the bank or in any enclosed area, just be aware of there's a spider. Just be aware that when you cast a spell, for some reason casting spells actually goes through the wall. Actually yesterday, after I finished recording episode 19, I decided to just test cast corrupt against the wall, because I was thinking that I'm not aiming it at anyone, so it'll probably just fizzle out. But it turns out that when I aimed it at the wall, there happened to be a Tindremic commoner, an NPC, just at the other end of the bank, and my spell happened to hit the commoner. So that turned my character grey, or criminal. And so as you know, in the bank there is the Tindremic lictor, which is overpowered. It's like a magic spells guard. So basically it casts spells, and I got so basically I got guard whacked in a matter of seconds. So I died somewhere around here. And as you know, when you die, there will be a swarm of players who will just swarm around your corpse and pick up whatever you have on your body, on your corpse. So of course I lost my suit of armor and my weapons, and so that wasn't very good. But this is something that I felt that I should point out to people, so that you don't end up killing yourself for just trying to cast spells at the wall, because casting spells even against the wall, for some reason it will go through. The spell will go through the wall and hit whatever is on the other side. And in my case, it was a Tingermic commoner, which happened to be walking past in front of my crosshair on the other side of the wall. So just be aware of that. Now there is a way for you to cast spells on yourself, but for some reason it's not working for me. I did try going to the key bindings and I tried to bind it, target self, to one of my keys, but it's somehow not working for me. So but anyway, but we'll just bank our stuff. So as you can see, I've got all these reagents here, and so I think what I'll do is I'll just show you guys one of the more important spells, and that is healing. And healing will require calamine and water. So now, because I'm not able to cast spells on myself, I will try and look for a wounded player and I'll heal them, provided that they are blue. Still looking for a just look for a player without full health. So be careful how you cast spells in this game, because just like everything else, it is all aim based. So that's one other thing that's different about this game. Okay, there's a guy here. His name is Insurance. People do really do come up with some very funny names. But anyway, so we'll cast. Okay, so I need to unequip my weapons. Okay, so we'll cast it on Insurance. I'll move a bit closer. Okay, maybe we'll cast it on Oprimo, because he's got less health and he's blue as well. So so there you go. So that's how you cast spells in this game. So I healed that guy, Oprimo, for not much, but that's because my spells, my magic skills are still quite low at this point in time. So I just felt that a little bit of magic would be helpful for me. So I'll re-equip my weapon. So sword first, and then the mace. So next time, in my next episode, hopefully I'll try to show you guys how to enhance items, because one time when I was hunting undead heads in the graveyard, I did pick up a flawed whetstone, which is some sort of it's like the sharpening stone in World of Warcraft, where you can sharpen your sword. And so I combined it using the combine items window. So I combined my sword with the whetstone, and it came out with the enhanced worn short sword. that was just to test it out. In future, I would use it on something a bit more powerful. You know, maybe my Tindremic longsword. But as you can see, you know, the slashing power of this enhanced worn short sword is a little bit higher than a normal, you know, just a unenhanced worn short sword. So that's another thing about this game, is that you can combine items, and there are other, you know, other items out there that can that enhances you know, blunt or piercing weapons, and as well as armor. So you know, hopefully, you know, in future, if not in the next episode, maybe in the future, I will I will show you guys how the enhancement thing works, and yeah, so I think that's where I'll leave this episode. So thanks everyone for watching. So please, if you enjoy this video, please please give a like, thumbs up, and if you can, also share the video via your favorite social media, and also please, you know, if you have any questions, useful feedback. So this guy, someone is snooping my pockets. Yeah, it's heart attack. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of things in this game that can potentially give you a heart attack, and so you know, there you go. That's another thing about this game, is that even in the bank, you can, you know, if you're not careful, someone can actually snoop in your pockets, and thankfully there's nothing of value in my inventory at this time. So that's why it's important to keep everything that you're not using at the time in your bank, because otherwise you could lose it, even right in the bank itself, you know, even in front of the very powerful Tindremic lictors. So yeah, please do, if you have any feedback, questions, please leave it in the comment section below, and also please subscribe to my channel. So thanks everyone for watching this episode. This is Fine Gaming Connoisseur, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.